Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 94 of the Two-Player Co-op Podcast. As always, I'm your host here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
How we doing?
He's back.
I'm back.
And he brought a friend with him.
That'd be me.
I brought backup because I'm just not really all there, all here yet. So Jason's back. We brought Jason.
Back.
This is a big week. This is wedding week. So we're going to have all sorts of guests at the house this week. It's going to be a great time. And then we're getting married. Not we, but me. And
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
On Friday. So
Well,
big week.
There are big legalities involved with the two of you.
Big things happening.
Big things
I don't
popping.
know what's happening here.
Yeah. So Sean was gone in Oktoberfest. I mean, he wasn't, you know what I mean. He was in Germany.
I was gone.
He was gone while he was at Oktoberfest. Sean and Brittany went there. Come back Friday. We're going to have all the deets on that. If you've ever wondered what the heck Oktoberfest is like for a couple of crazy American kids, come back on Friday. We got everything for you. Special 3-way Friday show on Friday. But for now, it is episode 94. And we're going to get right into it. Sean, you didn't get to watch it because you were out of the country. Jason, do you care about WWE? I forget.
Yes.
Did you watch No Mercy?
Yeah, I did.
What the hell happened? Cesaro didn't break his teeth. They were shoved up into his skull.
Yeah, and it was one of those weird, like, I got thrown into the ring post. I'm going to smash my face off the turnbuckle. Or I got thrown into the corner. I'm going to smash my face off the ring post moments. And just, he comes back and he's bleeding all over the place.
Like he
full
did
on.
that or
Like he
something?
went, he had his hands there, but it's like he didn't catch himself or something. And went, and he turned around and just went, oh.
It was just like
He just collapsed.
his front 2 or 3 teeth were just shoved
just
up into
went,
his jaw. Yeah.
God.
He just took his hand off and there was just blood everywhere.
I saw like pictures and video of it, but I never saw when it actually happened. I just assumed he did that and they just got knocked.
That's what I assumed. But then when I heard they went up into his skull, I was like, I think that's kind of worse.
Yeah.
I don't even know how. I didn't know that could happen.
I
mean,
didn't either, but it's a whole lot of force, I guess.
I mean, your teeth aren't really attached to your jaw in a lot of
I
cases.
know, but where do they go?
You never know where they're going up there. So that to me was the highlight of the pay-per-view. Although I have a problem with that match because then when
The powerbomb.
onto
That should have just ended.
That should have
What a
been
cool-
it. The
yeah.
crowd went nuts, especially Cesaro fighting back with a bloody mouth. You powerbomb Rollins onto Ambrose. 1. Everybody's counting along. 2. Yeah. 3. Oh! And it's just like, what? Everybody on Twitter was just like, okay, you've officially, like, you've killed this pay-per-view now.
Right,
like, that
yeah.
makes, there's no, Braun
Mercy.
Strowman shouldn't have kicked out of that move. Especially
Right,
not freaking
yeah.
Dean Ambrose.
No, it was that was kind of like the downturn to it for
Yep.
me. Although my respect for Cesaro, like I always liked Cesaro,
I
anyways.
love that dude.
And now it's like my respect for him is even higher because it's like that has got to hurt like a mother.
I don't, oh my God.
I'm still trying to like picture it.
He went like this.
No, I mean I know what happened.
And
but
they're here. I thought they both snapped in half, and then when I heard they went up into his skull, I'm like, I can't. And then he finished the match. He's still doing all. He's every time he'd get like hit in the face, I'm like, oh my God, please just stop! Don't
Right.
hit him in the face. Oh, it was horrible. The title match was horrible. Braun goes right at him, gets a few shots in, running power slam, kicks out. And then it's like the thing with Joe where it's just all of a sudden, oop, F5 done.
Yeah.
But Joe is not Braun Strowman. Joe is not this 6'8", 385-pound monster that you've built up, and then he goes down in one F5.
Right.
The thing that annoys me actually is more of a generality. Their finishing moves aren't as protected as they once were, right?
No, not at all.
Like Razor's Edge, when he hit it, it was game over,
yeah,
right?
Stunner,
almost exclusively game
except for
over.
WrestleMania and The Rock, because then it was they're going to kick out of each other's finishers like 10 times.
Right.
But
And Rock's going to oversell it and do
Yes.
cartwheel. But no, like most of the finishers nowadays are just like, okay, well, is this going to be the false finish or the real finish?
Right.
It's really annoying. Yeah. But but Lesnar having the F5, which does, like, don't get me wrong, getting Braun Strowman up on your shoulders and then tossing him off like that, that's impressive. I mean, I think Strowman needs a better finisher though.
then
But
a freaking running power slam.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he
Right.
did it to the Big Show.
Right.
So It's not like he's not strong enough, but
Yeah, I was watching that. I'm like, okay, he's gonna kick out 1, 2. Oh, he what? He pinned him? Why? It's just like that pay-per-view started off so strong. There was the tag match didn't lead it off. What led it off?
oh, I don't even remember.
And then Enzo wins the friggin' Cruiserweight
That's
Championship with a kick
stupid.
to the D. The only thing I will say that's somewhat okay about that is how the whole Cruiserweight roster was out there to destroy him Monday night. And
Oh, it's
Neville
hilarious.
was like, because Enzo, I don't know if you pay attention, Enzo was like, if you touch me, you lose your shot at a rematch. And the whole Cruiserweight division was out there, and they went down the ring, and then Neville was like, I do not care, and he just friggin' wrecked him. And Enzo was just out there just talking trash on the whole Cruiserweight division. I've never actually liked the Cruiserweight division until now, because I am to the point now where I hate Enzo Amore. Just because, not because he's a good heel, he cannot wrestle at all. The talking, I'm so over it. And now, like, he really does, he deserves to just get destroyed.
I don't think he's necessarily a bad wrestler. He's not a bad worker. I think he sells things well. He's great on the mic, but they don't do anything with him. Like, ever. He and Cass, they had so many opportunities to put the belt on him and Cass. And
They
just
should've.
never
Yeah.
did it. And they just always have Enzo get killed. And it's like, well, you never even had this guy win a match. The whole feud with Cass was a joke. Every time he shows
Yes.
up, he just gets knocked out. Like,
No matter what. And then he's like, I'm going to get down to my boxers. And
and that was
go
funny.
through
And
the
then they
cage.
wasted it.
And then he got destroyed. I'm like, this is so
So
stupid.
they booked him terribly, and then they're like, okay, well now we'll make you cruiserweight champ. The whole thing is just weird to me. I don't dislike him. I just don't like the way that he's been booked.
Right.
The only good thing that I'm hoping comes out of this, which is what I said for SummerSlam, except maybe I was just a little early. I'm hoping this just gets Neville out of the cruiserweight division. Get him onto like the actual main roster.
That's what I'm hoping happened Monday night, but I don't know for sure because now he can't ever fight for the title again, whatever. But like, have him go up. Have him now that he's gone face. They did a great double turn. Have him go after the Miz. Let Miz have somebody else have the IC belt. And although apparently they're just going to keep the title on Lesnar until WrestleMania because everybody wants to see Lesnar Reigns again, right? No,
I think
I don't know.
I
why
think
they're doing
Roman
that.
beats him at Survivor Series.
That's what they should
He
do.
probably defends against Strowman at whatever's in December. And then I don't know what happens after that. And then I
Well,
think it leads up to Cena and Roman.
and Roman. It should.
The last rumor I saw was Lesnar's next pay-per-view match is going to be against Balor.
Which what? Yes, and I feel like they're only doing that just so he can
finish
murder
off,
Balor.
well, and to finish off that whole, I never actually
never
lost
lost
my
it,
title
yeah.
thing. I don't know.
Brock will kill him. Brock will break
Yeah.
him in half.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
I
I'm
love
not the,
Finn Balor.
I'm not the
but-
biggest Finn fan, but I don't want to see. It's
fan?
not like Finn Balor. I wanted to see D-Bry go up against Lesnar. I just feel like D-Bry would have been a lot more believable against Lesnar than Finn is. I don't know why. Maybe it's just my bias that I'm not a big Balor guy. I should be. He's Irish. But I'm not. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I mean, we talked about it
He's
with
another
Nick.
guy. I love him, but I feel like they don't
completely
know what to
wasted
do
him.
with him.
He's
He
still
had
fighting
all
with
the
Bray.
momentum when he first came in. Literally all the moment. I mean, he beat Roman and was it Ron? No, who did he beat?
He beat.
Oh,
He pinned Roman to get the shot at SummerSlam against, and then he pinned
But even
Rollins
before he
at
beat
SummerSlam.
Roman, he beat somebody
He
else
beat
that
somebody.
night.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't remember who that was.
Was it Ambrose? Did he go through all three of the Shield? To
No,
get
I
the
don't
title?
think. I don't think
No.
he did. I think
Was
he,
that when they did like the what's it called?
They
Or
did.
no, that was
Rollins
SmackDown.
Rollins got a bye basically into the finals because they were still treating him like a heel for some stupid reason.
Was it
Oh,
Owens
right,
he went
so-
through?
Yes, I think it was. I think it was,
was
Owens,
Owens,
and then
Reigns, and then
he
Rollins,
beat
I
Rollins.
think.
It's just
Okay.
like okay,
Yeah,
obviously
like,
they think you're the guy.
Shot him right out of a cannon.
He was the number one pick in the draft.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Rollins was.
Was he?
Yes.
No.
He was one of the first.
He was like a top three. It went
few, yeah.
Rollins, Lesnar, Finn. I think is what it was.
Maybe,
I think
yeah.
Lesnar.
No,
was
actually,
two.
I think Lesnar was actually the second round because that was after his drug violation in UFC.
Which violate all.
Yeah. But anyway, I love Finn Balor, but it's like they don't know what to do with him.
The match at the pay-per-view was so dumb. It was like Brandon Stroud said. Again, check out at Mr. Brandon Stroud on Twitter. He's the best wrestling blogger there is. They're doing this feud in reverse. Like, if anything, he should have fought Bray first, man to man, and then come back with the demon. He should have lost.
Right.
Then do the ketchup thing or whatever, the barbecue sauce on him or whatever, then come back as a demon. But they're doing it in reverse, and then even like you attack him before the match, beat him down, he can barely stand, they still do the match, and you still lose fair and square. Bray Wyatt is garbage and should go to TNA or something. They had so much momentum when they gave him the title when he pinned AJ and Cena to win that match.
Yeah.
He had all the momentum in the world. He was finally a face. Everybody loved him. And then they let's put bugs in the ring and let's put a house of horrors. And he's been a joke ever since.
Yeah.
I think they're doing that for the whole Cena has 15 belts and Orton has 14 or whatever it is. I think it's 13 or 14. And if they trade it back and forth a couple of times, maybe they'll have a match for Orton and Cena.
That's what I said last year, that I was scared to death that WrestleMania was going to be both of them going for 17 for like the vacant title or something. I don't know what it was going to be, but nobody needs to see that.
No.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. So the first match of the pay-per-view was Miz beating Jordan.
Which was actually a good match.
It was, but people do not care one bit about Jordan. Making him Kurt Angle's son, they've turned him into Rocky Maivia. Everybody hates this guy. They loved him when he was with Chad Gable. I don't know what they were thinking, making him Kurt's son. I just don't. He has no charisma at all. And then, did you see his interview after the match? He's like, actually, Miz, people used to say about my dad when he comes out, it'd be like, you suck. And then he's like, actually, Miz, you suck. And everybody's like, and that was it. And he walked out of the ring, and everybody's like, what was that? That's your trash talk? What was that?
Oh, you suck. No, you suck.
No, actually, you really do suck, dude. So, I don't know.
I like Jayson Jordan, but it's like I felt like they pushed the wrong guy out of those.
Yep. I think Gable's the more talented guy.
Awesome.
I think in ring they're pretty on par, but it's more like Gable just has more of a charisma factor to him. Although on SmackDown with him and Shelton Benjamin, I can't disagree with that at all.
I love Shelton Benjamin. The funny thing, though, as much as I loved Shelton Benjamin back in the day, not just because he could take a super kick better than anybody, what the hell was his finishing move? And what is his finishing move now? He doesn't have one because they just do tag team moves. So I'm like, as much as I love that guy, I have no idea what his finisher was. Was it just a suplex? Do you remember? I cannot remember for the life of me what his finisher was. He won multiple Intercontinental titles, I think U.S. title, tag title, obviously with Haas, but I cannot remember what the hell he would win matches with.
Wasn't it no. I thought he did some kind of a... Yeah, I don't know.
Was it an exploder suplex where you pick one leg up and you grab him here and then you kind of go, wham? Maybe it was an exploder suplex, but you can't pin him during that. I don't know what it was.
I don't remember.
Let's see what the Wikipedia says.
We love Wikipedia. I should have got more coffee.
He's got a 450 splash from 2000 to 2002.
Oh, that was when he was in OVW, I think.
Ankle lock from 2013 to current. Dragon whip.
How is that a finishing move? You get their leg and you go, wee.
I don't know. Super kick from 02 to 03 and a T-bone suplex.
See, okay. T-bone exploder suplex where you get one leg up and this one.
And then into a modified scoop power slam.
Yeah, okay. That, as I started talking about it out loud, it kind of started making sense. But I don't know. Hell in a Cell's this Sunday. I'm not going to watch it because I'm going to be at the beach. But Nakamura's not winning. I am now convinced Jinder's holding that thing until WrestleMania, and now I'm starting to think, what if it's Jinder? What if that's how Cena gets number 17? Is he conquers the big bad Indian guy, the big bad foreigner, and that's how he gets number 17?
I can't see them keeping Jinder until
I don't think they
Mania.
headline
There's
WrestleMania
no
with
way.
Jinder Mahal.
They won't be the headline. But it should be. If Cena's winning 17, it should be right.
I mean, you're going to have two choices there. It's either going to be Cena or Lesnar as your main event because that's what WWE does.
When was the last time we had a non-part-timer in the main event? Undertaker was last year at 33.
Oh, at Mania?
Yeah. 32 was
Triple H.
Triple H and Roman. One of the worst main events of all time. Before that,
31 Brock
and Roman.
30.
Seth won the title. 30 was... It was 30. It was Bryan and... Well, I mean, Batista was there, but Orton was the champ in the triple threat. So I guess that was it. It's been 4 years.
Well, and technically, Batista was full time at that point.
Yeah, he was. You're right.
So, like,
that was horrible. Oh man.
I think they're gonna go. I think they're gonna do Cena beating Mahal probably at Survivor Series, if I had to guess.
I don't know. The only thing I wonder, I almost hate that we know so much about the behind the scenes stuff. He's going to be shooting some Transformers movie, but I don't know when it is. The Bumblebee movie. That's what it is. He's not Bumblebee, but he is the human star in that movie. It's like a
Cena?
Bumblebee prequel. Yep.
Oh,
Wow.
Because Transformers wasn't bad enough already.
well, I find those movies entertaining, but
They're entertaining, but you know
they're
what?
not good movies. I'm
No.
not saying that. I'm saying they're entertaining.
But you know what I hate? We can get 5 or 6 Transformers movies.
But we can't get a third Ninja Turtles movie? When the second one was so good.
It
I
was the
still haven't
cartoon
seen
come to
either
life.
of them.
Oh my god!
The first one you can skip.
The second
The
one
second
so
one was
good.
awesome.
And it actually ends on a cliffhanger, and you don't know what happens with a certain character, and it's like, no, we're never gonna know, but we'll just China keeps watching. No offense to China, but y'all keep watching these Transformers movies, and that keeps pushing them over $1 billion, so they're gonna keep making them, but we can't get Ninja Turtles 3.
You know, it's not this last Transformers movie, the one that's coming out, or the one before that, the first one with Wahlberg in it.
Yeah,
It was like it was a crappy movie, but there was one scene that I was like, okay, I just turned 12 again. It was
Really?
Optimus Prime riding a T-Rex.
yes,
Like, if anything's gonna turn me back to 12, that's gonna do it.
that's what the whole Ninja Turtles movie was.
Basically,
much. It was awesome.
Pure, nostalgia.
So before we get into what we're playing, there were details released on the Atari box. It's not worth talking about. Anybody going to spend $350 on a Linux-based Atari emulator system that they don't even have the confidence in to just produce it themselves, and they're going to ask for money on Kickstarter? No, me neither. Do you care?
No.
Great. Moving on.
I don't care about Atari in general.
No. So Sean, you had a whole lot of flying to do this week.
I did.
I cannot wait to ask this question.
Yes.
What have you been playing this past week?
I have been playing a lot of... I think in the end I logged more time in Severed.
Okay.
Because I played Severed basically from London until Chicago. And Mega Man. Metroid, I think I'm maybe 3.5 hours in or so. So Severed. I beat it. I really enjoyed it. It got a little repetitive, but it was fun. It didn't matter because I wasn't logged in or anything, so I couldn't get a platinum, whatever. But I wouldn't have gotten the platinum. There were some things that I just couldn't figure out. And I just there was this one where, there's a couple, the symbols on the map where you can use your eye thing or the teeth thing to like open up a new path or whatever. And there's a whole area of, where was it? The the haunted, that whole area, whatever it's called. For the life of me, I couldn't get to it because of the whole sun door, moon door thing.
Oh, there was one.
I'm like, okay, so I need to get in there, but I can't because the sun door is closed or the moon door was closed or whatever. I couldn't find the thing to flip it. And I'm like, okay, well, there's this one, but no, I can't get there. Or there's this one, but if I flip it, then I'm not going to be able to get to here. And for the life of me, I'm just like, I don't know how to get there. And then
if I wasn't going for the platinum, I kind of remember that where it was almost like a circular hallway where it's like it would close and go here. Or is this one where you had to open it and then you went in? Or there was another one that got so confusing for me where you had to like teleport to another world. And then like you could go in different rooms that were blocked in the other world, but not in this world. And then you would open something. You'd like open a door and then go back to the other. Like you'd go in a portal.
That sounds like what the resolution probably would have had to be. Because I looked everywhere. I planned out, okay, what if I go here? Okay, that takes me here. Once I'm here, okay, I can go over here. And I had like 12 moves planned out in advance, and it still never got me to anywhere where I could flip it to. I'm just like, whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to go and try to get everything. But the game was a lot of fun. There were some fights, a lot of them. Oh, it was all where you had to, when you get I don't even remember what it is, where you can walk in the clouds or whatever.
Yeah, those
fights are basically
where it's timed. Yep.
And I'm like, okay, so I need to take this enemy out all right, let me go over to this guy so I can steal his power-ups, then go over to this guy so I can kill him really quick so he stops bothering me, and then I gotta go over here. And, like, if you miss, like, a single block...
It's gotta go bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, I'm like, you have to do it perfectly to beat it. And there's one or two of those that I couldn't beat, and I was getting frustrated. So, it was cool. I'm glad I played it. I don't feel the need to... Even if I could theoretically get a platinum for it, I still don't know that. Again, I can't bring myself to care enough about platinums. And I'm sure I could have done it with a guide. Yeah. I could have looked up a guide and how do I get to this area? Well, go over here, then you got to go here and here and here and here and here and here, then teleport, then go here, 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 and now you're there.
Right.
But I'm just like, if I have to resort to doing a guide, I don't really want to do it that way. And then that was that. But no, it really hooked me. I mean, like I said, I played it for probably 6 straight hours on that flight.
That's awesome.
This was after I got like 2.5 hours of sleep the night before, the previous night.
I don't even know.
I was tired, and it kept my focus. I figured I could just play it until I'm like, okay, I'm starting to nod off, and I'd put it away and go to sleep, and then I never went to sleep.
You're like, nope, I got to beat this.
But no, I enjoyed it. It was a really good game.
Awesome. I'm glad you finally played it.
And then I played a lot of Metroid. I'm torn on this game. It's very good, but it's definitely more along the lines of like fusion. Like it doesn't seem like a real... It kind of plays like a Metroid game, but then it also kind of doesn't. Like how you can... Like how pretty much almost every single enemy does the little they like telegraph their move like with the little flash so you can block it and then shoot.
Everything's a one-hit kill. Once it took at the beginning, is what I was telling Nick, for like the first half hour to an hour, I was like, I don't know why, but I couldn't get the timing right. But obviously it's flash, you push X and then you shoot them. That's all you got to do. But it's like they'd flash and go, oh, which button is it? Ow.
See, that's what I do. I'm not good enough, and I think because I'm using my 3DS, not the XL, where everything's so small. But
you should try to remember.
Whenever I'm about to like get attacked, I never think I gotta hit X. Like, I can only hit X to block it if I'm going into it trying to do that.
Try to remind me to just take my 3DS XL because it's so much like, and it was the same thing when I played Link Between Worlds on that bigger screen. I was like, whoa, this is like a new game.
Maybe
just borrow
do
mine.
That.
Just finish it on mine.
But no, I love it. It's beautiful. It's cool, but also it kind of gets repetitive. I don't know if things will change eventually, but
they do.
I want some actual Metroid-style boss fights. I don't want to just keep fighting these little Metroid creatures that fly back and forth and back and forth. And
so, have you only fought that one kind of Metroid?
No, I fought 2. Well, I fought the little one and then the bigger one. The bigger ones that are sometimes ice or fire or lightning, whatever. That's it. But I got through Area 3 relatively quickly. I mean, it's a big area, but like I never found myself confused on where to go. I found all 10 Metroids pretty easily. Now I'm in the next area, and I basically just got there and saved it, but I'm pretty sure down at the bottom it said only 1 Metroid. So that's kind of weird. But so I'm in Area 4, but I haven't done anything. Area 3 was a little disappointing because all I got was a grappling hook. 2, I got the high jump, the wave beam.
You're like, okay, now this is a Metroid.
Something else. And then I think in Area 3, all I got was a grappling beam. I'm like, oh. I kept I'd find a new area or I'd kill one of the Metroids and be like, ooh, I wonder what I'm going to get now. And then there's nothing. And then, but before you know it, I was at the end of it and all I'd gotten was the grappling beam, which I don't even like. But it's a good game. I don't it's too... I know I can backtrack.
I didn't do a whole lot of backtrack.
But you only backtrack if you want more missiles and energy tanks.
Once you get up to 130, 140 missiles, I'm like, I really don't need more.
Right. So it kind of doesn't
I did end up getting every energy tank. I was very proud of myself for that.
How many are there? Because I feel like I'm not... Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay. I found 4 of them.
Yeah.
I thought I was way behind, but it just doesn't play like a real... a normal Metroid game. If you ever go back and play Fusion, it kind of plays more like that.
Like a collect-a-thon kind of a thing?
Sort of. And it really holds your hand. Not that this game does, but this game, as far as Metroid games go, seems a little too linear for my tastes.
Yeah.
You go from here, and then you go do this area, and then you do this area, and then you do this, and it's not like, I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I absolutely love it, but I was never a huge fan of the Prime games. I don't really remember much about other M. To me, Super Metroid's still number 1.
I agree.
I'd say Zero Mission's number 2. I would probably put maybe one of the I don't even know which Prime was my favorite, but that would probably be the next one. This is maybe like my 4th.
Mm-hmm.
I'd put it above like Fusion. I like it better than Fusion, but I don't know. It's fun. It's kind of like Zelda, where you always like to go back to that 2D style. Like, I'll play any Metroid game they release in 2D form.
Yep.
I'm going to play every single one of them, just like Zelda. I mean, I'll play every Zelda game 3D or 2D, but yeah.
Same.
But yeah, so I think I'm like maybe 3.5 hours into it or so. Okay. How long did it take you to beat?
I beat it just like 12 and 5 minutes or something.
Oh,
like
wow.
that.
Okay, so I had a ways to go still.
I will say, not going to spoil anything, but there's not as many boss fights as I would have liked.
Yeah.
Like Super Metroid, there's no, 2 screen tall bosses. But the ones that are there, I would say there's really 3 bosses. Okay. You can say the Metroids are all mini bosses.
Yeah.
As you get towards the end, though, there are mini bosses that are challenging. But again, it's still they're hard as hell. But once you see the patterns and stuff, it's all pattern recognition, and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
I actually didn't hate the grappling beam in this, and I hate the grappling beam in Super Metroid. I had to just keep going save state load, because I couldn't do that. That wing, 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 that one part, I couldn't do it. This, for some reason, it just controls so much better. Controls better than it did in Axiom Verge. I don't know what it is. But I was going to ask you, after playing this and how good the controls are and how I love how you can hold L down and aim in any direction and stuff, I'm like, can I go back and play Zero Mission Infusion?
Yes.
I went back and started Zero Mission last night. And I played like an hour, and I'm like, this is awesome. It looks like Metroid, except much better, and there's a map, and I'm like, this still... But even with that, you don't have the free aim, but you push L to just aim diagonally without running. So that's a big... That's like, okay, that's good enough. I love it. So
you'll love Zero Mission.
The one thing I will say is when you get to the very last boss fight, I don't know if you're going to do it this week because you're a little busy, but when you get to that last boss fight, I just want you to look in the background, and there is something happening back there that I'm in this super stressful boss fight where I probably died 10, 12 times. And then I look in the background and I see this certain thing happening, and I'm just like trying not to laugh as I'm concentrating on the boss. Just keep that in mind for when you get there. And once you get there, it's funny.
Interesting.
Jayson, you started a little game called Horizon Zero Dawn.
I did.
What do you think so far?
I'm hooked.
Yes. This is a smart man, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know. I'm probably 4 or 5 hours in, something like that. Just finished the trials thing.
Okay.
I forget what the actual name of it is.
The proving.
Yes, that. Yep. It's a very, very fun game. A lot of sneaking around, which I'm not terribly fond of, but it works for this game.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of games where like sneaking around, it just doesn't fit well with me. Like Splinter Cell, for example. Mm-hmm. I couldn't stand sneaking around in that game. This one's kind of like, I'm just hiding in the bushes. Oh my god! And then stab this thing in the side and kill it.
Right? Yeah.
It's kind of a little bit more of that. Oddly enough, it reminds me of a couple of the Assassin's Creed games, because there's the Assassin's Creed games are all tied together with like a story within a story, shall we say, and the whole like older civilization thing is in that.
Okay.
Or is in all the Assassin's Creed games. So,
okay.
It just reminded me a lot of Assassin's Creed 3, I guess.
Okay.
But
3 is the one I really wanted to play just because of the setting.
Oh, that one was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I still got it. It's sitting in the box up there. Yeah, my buddy Jim gave it to me. He's like, I don't need this. Here you go. I'm like, okay, I can't wait.
Is that PS3?
Yeah, it's like been up there for like 5 years, and I've just never opened it. I want to play it. One of these days I'll play it.
Yeah, I want to say it's a 4-year-old game at this point.
Okay.
Because it's 4 Black Flag, 3, 4 Unity, Syndicate, and skipped a year, Origins.
Yep.
So, But yeah, that was whenever get time, I'm firing up I basically have to use another game to get away from Final Fantasy 12 for a while. Because with me, I love RPGs. I just love, they're one of my favorite game types to play. My problem with RPGs is you get to this point in every RPG, sometimes multiple times, where I just have to level up a lot right now. Yeah. And it is boring, it is time consuming, and very grindy. And I'm just like, you know what? Got 2 games over there that I haven't beaten yet. Let me go fire up one of them.
That's what I loved about Horizon Zero Dawn. Everybody calls it an action RPG. I think it's RPG in the loosest sense of terms. But I never felt like I had to grind in that. I hit the level cap
because all it does is you get extra HP.
You just get XP, and you can unlock more things and stuff. But it's never like, it all came naturally. Like, I got to level 50, I think, in the last huge mission of the game. I think that's when I hit it. But I've been doing a lot of side quests and stuff to make sure I could get the platinum and that. But I never felt like I was grinding for it, and that's what always has held me back on like traditional RPGs.
Yeah, Horizon doesn't seem like that would be a problem. Although with action RPGs, I hit a similar point where it's like I get to this boss battle and I just fight and fight and fight and die and die and die, and I just have to set it down.
Yeah,
and come back to it. So yeah, that was a nice thing to fire up. I also fired up I Am Setsuna. I beat, actually, when I was out here last, I had it on my Switch and was playing on the flight back. That's a fun game.
Did you ever go back to that, Sean?
I didn't. No, I probably, if all of my work travel happens, that's probably when I'll play it.
Yeah.
Now that I beat Severed, I hope I will have beaten Metroid by then. So that's probably when I'll finally get to play through that.
Yeah.
But
I like it so far.
Yeah.
Like 3 hours into it or so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're already further than I am.
Basically, the whole just finished the whole quote unquote training area that you start off with, and moved on to the next area and finished part of that. Game's definitely a traditional JRPG.
Yeah.
But it's very good. We'll see how it turns out.
I have a question. What are your thoughts on Shovel Knight?
That game is fun but frustrating.
Yeah. People acted like this game isn't that difficult, and I'm like, I don't know. I think it's quite difficult.
If you're one of those people that are just like a savant at platformers, this game wouldn't. I can see that. I've never been good at platformers ever.
I've never been good at Mega Man games, and that's why I wasn't great at this. But I loved it, and it was so frustrating that like when I beat the level or beat the boss, I was
yeah.
I mean, I was sitting in the airport, and when I went to leave here last time, and I was playing Shovel Knight, and I got to the Plague Knight level, where it's like the guy that throws all the bombs,
potions and stuff. Yep.
Like, and I was just like, I can't deal with this right now. I'm going to fire up I Am Setsuna. I've been playing Sonic Mania too. Whenever I just need to like mindlessly run around.
Nice.
Sonic's good for that.
It's kind of the definition of a Sonic game.
Yep.
I'm just going to run around all these things and collect all these rings.
I think it was right when I beat Severed. I was like, well, now what? So I loaded up Shovel Knight because I didn't feel like getting my DS out, and I started playing through some of the challenges, the trials, whatever they're called, the Challenge of Olympus, basically. And I have beaten a few of them on mine, but I think I beat a couple on yours that I hadn't actually beaten on mine yet. But then I think I beat the first like 6 or 7 of them, and then I got to one where it was just like, nope, I can't beat it, and then I just gave up on it at that point. But
hey, Sean, speaking of trial modes, did you ever do the trial mode in Final Fantasy 12?
No, I was actually thinking about that recently. I'm like, I need to get back into Final Fantasy, but I'm like, there's only so much left for me to do unless I just try to get to level 99 just to get to level 99. And I don't know that I'm going to, and I don't know that I'm going to beat the What's like the super duper optional boss?
Turtle Rock.
The equivalent of that in this game.
I forget the name of it. It's
Omega Mark.
Yeah, it's
13 or whatever, or is that not? Is there something about
something like
something
that?
that has like 25 million HP?
Good Lord.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, is this the thing you were telling me you got to fight for like 6 hours or something?
Yeah,
Yes,
It's like a Destiny raid.
Several hours.
You literally at least I don't know about with Zodiac mode or Zodiac version, but the other one you literally had you could look up online how to set up your gambits in such a way that you can never die, and literally just have it come back, go to bed, and wake up the next morning. That's what a lot of people were telling you. It's like a giant dragon, if memory serves.
Yeah. I don't think I'll ever beat that. So I think I've gotten all of the Espers except for Zodiac. And then I think I have 3 or 4 more hunts to do, but I think that is one of the hunts.
That's the last hunt. You have to do.
So I don't think I'm ever going to beat this. So it's and I was thinking, I'm I need a reason to get back into this. And I was thinking, oh yeah, I never even did the trials thing. So I do need to try that and see how far I can get. But
I got to at level, what am I guys, 34, 33, something like that. I got through the first 14 without having a problem.
yeah.
But what I didn't know is when you load up trial mode, it gives you gold or gil rather, in the game itself. So if you need
Really?
gil, go do trial modes.
Interesting. I don't think I do, but I did before. That would have been
Nice to know.
helpful.
Yeah.
But, oh, well.
It also uses your or if you just want to, if you look up the rewards, you get potions and stuff throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
And you can use that to increase your supply of those.
Yeah, I do need to get back into that and just try that out, but not this week.
Yeah.
You're a little busy this week.
Little busy. Yeah.
All I've really been playing this week, I beat Metroid. I really loved it. It got to a point where it was repetitive, but then when you get to those last few areas, especially area 7 and 8, the Metroids that you're fighting, you're down to 2 or 3 or something, and the ones that you fight are holy crap. I want to go back. I've been meaning to. I just don't ever remember to when I actually have free time. I want to go look at Metroid 2 on the Game Boy and see what these Metroids look like in that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if they were all... I picture them all just being the... I thought this whole thing... I didn't know you had to kill these things. I thought for some reason once you found them, you captured them.
Well, in a way, you're capturing their DNA.
Right.
But, yeah.
So, I beat it. Like I said, there are bosses. The 3 main bosses that there are, very frustrating.
Really?
Yeah. But in a good way, same like I was saying with Shovel Knight, once I beat him, I was just... Yes! And I think all 3... Actually, the final boss, when I finally beat it, I just went on a run where I had 5 energy tanks left or something. It's 3 phases, and I finally beat it with 5 energy tanks left. I couldn't believe it. I was I stayed up. It was 10:45 at night the night before. Jess came out and was like, "You're still awake?" I'm like, "What time is..." Oh, my God. I've been at this boss for an hour. It's okay, I need to go to bed. And then I took it to work with me the next day. Lunch break, went out to the truck, turned it on, air conditioning. All right, let's fight this guy. Boom. 10 minutes later, I'm done. I'm like, oh, well, I guess maybe I was just tired last night. I don't know. But I loved it. Very interesting the way it ends, because I wonder what they're going to do next with 2D Metroid, if they're going to go somewhere new. Because so I looked up the chronology. So it goes, I don't remember all the other games, but 1, 2, and then the Super Metroid is essentially Metroid 3. And then Fusion, I think, is the very last one in the timeline.
I think so.
Or
it's near. I don't know about primes, but it's towards the end. Yeah.
So I beat that. I really loved it. It's going to be up there on my Games of the Year list. I got the SNES Classic. Shout out to Nintendo. Y'all did it right. I had no faith in you at all. Reggie Fils and me, I called you a liar. I'm sorry. You'll never see this, but you were not a liar. I walked into our GameStop, I had reserved mine, and I was like, am I going to... Because once it became apparent that they were sending out a boatload of these, I'm like, I'm not going to be able to sell it. Jess was like, just buy this stupid thing. We can take it, it'll be memories for the kids. When we go to the beach, they're so small. It's easy. Bring them. We'll hook them up in the condo. We can play then, forget about them for the rest of the year, whatever. I didn't need it because I've got another system that's amazing. But I was telling Sean, my oldest Noah had a pool party to end. I mean, I don't even know how they were swimming that water. It's fine during the day, but then when it gets down to 60 at night, that water cannot be very. But they're kids; they don't care. They're dumb.
They don't know any better.
You're not dumb. I love you. But then I hooked up the NES and the Super Nintendo, and the kids mostly gravitated towards the NES, which blew my mind. But some of them went in there. Nick was all about. He kept trying the different Kirby games, going back and forth. I saw him playing F-Zero. He and one of Noah's friends did Mario Kart, and they were like, "This is Mario Kart? What the heck?" Because they're used to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch.
Yeah.
So they're like, "How is this?" They didn't really get into Mario that much. What else were they playing? Street Fighter 2, of course, and I saw them playing Donkey Kong also. So they were sampling them.
Yeah.
But it's so cool. But yeah, so shout out to Nintendo. Our Best Buy, when I walked in there to get my wife a case for her iPhone, I was like, hey, I was waiting in line, talking to the guy up front. You know, they got the little security guy that just stands up there. I was like, how many did you have waiting in line? He said, we only had like 25 people. I was like, oh, wow, that's weird. How many did you get? He said, hundreds. And he just smiled. I was like, seriously? He said, yeah. And then I saw him back there. They had a door open. Basically, they were just telling you, if you want one, go to the front register, just say it. They grab you when you go. You don't have to go find it.
Right.
They had just stacks of them in this room, like this security room up front. I was like, that's awesome. Because everybody that wants one of these can get one of these. And now that the launch was so good after the pre-orders were so bad, I believe them that they're going to keep sending these out. And if you didn't get one for some reason, you're going to have a chance to get one before Christmas. That's how it should be. The only other thing they should have done, they should be re-releasing the NES Classic before Christmas. They shouldn't be waiting till the summer. That's weird. But I do think when it comes back out, it's going to have 45 games.
I hope so.
And 2 controllers is what I think they're going to do.
I hope so.
I have no inside information. Just kind of what it feels like. But then I didn't really play it that much because I don't need it. So like I was saying, I fired up the Pi, started Zero Mission. I've got the cart. I think I still got her. No, I gave it back to you, I think. Yeah. I love it. It's fun. Like I said, the L being able to aim diagonally makes a big difference. There's this huge caterpillar thing that keeps coming out of the ground. It shakes, and then this thing, it's got a big eye, and I got to shoot him. And then he just goes away. Pretty sure that was not in Metroid 1. No. So I'm interested to see where it goes from here. I really like it so far.
Yeah.
I've never played those.
This is the way Metroid 1 should have been played. When you actually, because Metroid on the NES, no map. You have no idea where you're going. There's no context.
There's
or
no
anything.
saving.
Yes.
You need to beat it in one. It's just, yeah.
This is how it should have been.
Well, it's like one of the old school Nintendo games. A lot of them are like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, Mario Brothers didn't have any saves, really.
Just punishing. And that's why, like, when we were talking that one day about permadeath and people are just babies now, it's like you didn't used to be able to save everything. Like, it was crazy that you could save Zelda 1 back in 87. That was insane.
Yep.
Oh, that was the other thing. I fired up NES Golf. Not as good as I remember it.
Really?
No, I forgot. It does not. Not only does it not automatically select your club for you, it doesn't even show you how far with an arrow or with like number of yards or anything, how far your club is going to go. So you're like, holy crap, you actually have to know how to play golf to know how far it's crazy. Wow. So I turned that off real quick because I was just looking for something to play. It was last night. Jess was at Bunko, and I was like, let me try Metro. Because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go back to Zero Mission and Fusion. And then I fired it up. I'm like, yeah, this is great. So,
yeah.
Oh, you want to get the news of the week?
Let's do it.
Oh, there's this little game called Red Dead Redemption 2. And it got a trailer and a release window. And oh my God, it looks ridiculous.
It does.
Yay. Oh, you drew a little heart, too. Or a butt.
I think it's a butt.
This is now the prettiest game I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That I don't know how much more photorealistic games can get. After seeing this,
Did you see the thing about the horse in the trailer?
The physics of his man parts. They're like, boom.
Like, wow, they really they
got
spared no expense in this.
It's Rockstar. What do you expect?
They were too busy thinking whether or not they should. They never stopped to think they should. If they could, they'd never stop to think they should.
Thank you, Ian Malcolm.
So it's coming out in spring 2018. That's a big window. That means all the way through almost the end of June.
Right.
Do they hit it?
I have faith in Rockstar.
Yeah, they tend to not delay games
Now
too much.
They did delay Grand Theft Auto 5, but not by a whole lot.
I think it was only like 2 months, maybe.
I think it was something like that.
It was only one delay.
I love if this does come out like around E3. So they keep saying for now, God, like Nick and I were talking last week. By the way, shout out to Nick. Fantastic job last week. That was a lot of fun. God of War, early 2018. It's going to be March. It's going to be I would even go right now. I'm going to say the second Tuesday in March is when it's going to come out. Based on track record, that's what I'm going to say. I think this is like a late May, early June kind of a game. Kind of like where Uncharted came out, like mid-May kind of a game.
Yeah.
That big games don't come out then. Everybody else, if there are any games coming out, they're going to say, okay, well, we're moving. We're fine. Just you do your thing. You're going to sell millions and millions of copies. The only thing that I didn't like about this trailer, I don't think any of this was actual gameplay.
No, those look like cutscenes to me.
That's one thing I
right.
talked about with Nick last week. I was like, I want them to show gameplay, and I want to play this game. Seeing it looks beautiful, but again, I haven't played either of the Red Dead games. I don't know. Have you played them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I played Redemption
Okay.
for a little while. It's basically Grand Theft Auto in the Wild West. It was actually quite a bit of fun. I just forget if I have that on the 360, and I just got it so late in the cycle that I was just like, I played it for like a couple hours and this just stopped.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. Old West style has always drawn me, so I'm probably going to end up picking this game up after I look up the story for the first one.
Yeah.
But
So this is a prequel. So this
this is a prequel.
This is who do you play as? I don't need to read this whole thing. Arthur Morgan. You don't play as John Marston. John Marston was the main character in Redemption. He might have been the main character in Revolver too. I'm not sure. If you don't know how that ends, I'm not going to spoil it here. But it's a prequel to all that. This guy was a part of Dutch's gang. I don't know Dutch, but he was like, I think he and John Marston were buddies, and then Marston was like, I'm tired of being an a-hole, and he went the good way, and Dutch's gang went the bad way. So this is when they're all still bad. I think Marston will probably be in the game.
I would say so, yeah.
What I do wonder, and everybody's talking about, are they going to surprise us? Rockstar almost always throws a curveball. Everybody keeps saying they threw the curveball ahead of time with Grand Theft Auto 5 by saying you're going to play as 3 different people. I still can't believe they pulled it off as well as they did.
Yeah, that was surprisingly well done.
Yes, I thought it was going to be. When I heard that, I was like, "Oh God, why? It's going to be so bad." And they did it great. People are wondering now: are you going to have multiple characters? Well, maybe you still will play as John Marston 20 years before. I don't know when this is set compared to Redemption, but
Or they'll pull a Raiden.
That would be hilarious.
I'd have to
Never know.
remember. I don't even remember what that is, to be honest.
Raiden or
What the whole deal with Raiden? I've looked up some of the storyline of the Metal Gear games, but I don't remember that particular detail.
so they sold Metal Gear Solid 2, all the pre-promotional material, the demo disc, everything said you play as Snake and only as Snake. They put Snake in scenes in trailers. They replaced Raiden with Snake to make people so they wouldn't even. There was no hint. They never said the word Raiden. They never did anything. It was all because the game is about controlling the flow of digital information.
Mm-hmm.
So they did that. That's when Kojima started going
very
so meta.
yeah.
What do you think, Sean? Red Dead 2. Red Dead 3, but Red Dead Redemption 2.
I'm intrigued, but I'm not. It looks beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's going to be fun. But I'm nowhere near, like, not even the same ballpark as excited for this as I would be for GTA 6.
Yes.
Because it's just, it seems weird. There has to be something else to this game, or to Red Dead in general, to separate it from Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto is fun because it is just a sandbox.
Yep.
You can go... I'm talking 5 specifically. You can go to the downtown part of the city. You can go up in the mountains. You can go to the lake. You can go to the beach. You can get in a plane, a helicopter, a car, a boat, whatever.
Break
This
into a
game's like, well,
military
do I want to
base.
go to the trees? Do I want to go to this little tiny town? Do I want to go to those trees?
Do I want this horse or that
horse or that horse or that horse? It's just, it seems like it's what makes Grand Theft Auto doesn't seem like it would work in this game. There has to be something that I'm missing Maybe the storyline is just fantastic. Yeah. Maybe not that Grand Theft Autos isn't, but maybe it's just not meant to be that kind of game, and you really just play it for the story. I don't know.
But that's what I'm wondering. They are saying that there will be Red Dead Online.
Yeah.
Which I'm intrigued by because it's like you're in the Wild West. How many people are out there?
Right.
Whereas
not to mention Grand Theft Auto. I want to kill that guy. Should I stab him? Should I shoot him with my pistol? Should I use my shotgun? Should I use my rocket launcher?
There's no rocket launchers back then. Yeah.
Machine gun.
Should I go get a plane and drop a bomb on him?
I want to kill that guy.
Pistol or pistol? Yeah. I know.
That's what I just can't. I can't wrap my mind around it.
I wonder if it's just that we haven't played Red Dead Redemption, so
Maybe.
we just can't fathom.
Yeah.
And I wish they would re-release that on PS4 before this comes out, so I could play it.
Yeah.
I could get on PS3, but I don't want to walk upstairs and play my PS3. I'm too lazy. Again, this would be great if PlayStation had backwards compatibility like Xbox does. Again, I'm a PlayStation fanboy, but Xbox, you win that. There's just no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can find my disc. Go play it on my Xbox One.
Yeah, you just plug it in, and it's like, oh, yep, you bought this, you're good to go.
I don't know if they've changed it, but for the longest time, Xbox was backwards compatible with some games. I think they've been adding them more and more, but I don't know if it's still like I don't know if they're up to like every single game is backwards compatible. I don't think there is.
It seems like they're getting damn close.
Yeah, I mean, the first ones were all like Xbox Studio games, like Halos and Project Gotham Racing, which I was very stoked for. And some other ones I can't remember right now. Perfect Dark was in there. But yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm probably going to end up getting it just because, but
I'm not sold on it yet, but I certainly wouldn't be surprised if I end up getting it.
I just feel like I do worry we're not going to get GTA 6 now until the PS5. Or they're going to do like they did with the PS3, and this will come out in 2020, and then it'll come out a year later on the 5 or something. That's
if they do a new console at all.
Sony has said there will be another PlayStation. But what I think it will be, I think that's when they get into the whole, it might not be the PS5, it might just be the PlayStation. And then you can every few years you can upgrade your RAM, you can do a better, I hope you can do a better, what?
I don't have the proof here, but I feel like you like to make that prediction a lot. Whenever there's like a new game or a new system or a new movie, you're always like, I think they're, instead of such and such 3 or such and such colon this, such and such that, I think it's just going to be blank.
Well, because, no, I said so.
I feel like you make that prediction about a lot of things.
I said they were going to call the Switch the Nintendo.
There's that one. Yeah.
I said...
I remember him saying the PlayStation one before.
Well, the reason is because I keep thinking about this. It's like everybody tries to copy Apple. The iPad is now just the iPad. I'm surprised that the iPhone X, this is not iPhone X, that the iPhone X was not just called the iPhone. Because you know how... By the way, I think we probably talked about it a couple weeks ago. The most pretentious... I don't know how these people are so far up their own butts in these press conferences that it makes me hate them. But I'm like, I'm in the ecosystem. I can't get out. But I'm like, God, you guys just drive me nuts. Anyways, but that's what I was thinking. Everybody's trying to be like Apple. And the Xbox One X, XBOX, it is the Xbox.
Yeah,
Xbox One X.
Man.
I didn't even catch that until you pointed it out on another podcast. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
But no, it'll probably be the PS5 because why stop now? But I do think it will be moddable, modifiable. I don't even know what the word would be. Expandable, upgradable.
I think this is going to be the last true, until video games just become
PC only or something.
Yeah,
different entirely. I think the next one will be the last one, and then it's probably just upgradable from there.
I would still
do you remember the PS2 commercials when it was like super futuristic, and I can't remember if they actually showed it as like a syringe, but they were like saying you like inject the game
right
into you,
yeah.
And it was a commercial for PS9 basically, and then it went back and it said PS2 just the beginning or something like that.
Nano machine, son.
Basically, like. Until we get to that next evolution of video games, and I don't know what that is. I don't think it's injectable video games, but I think we have one more console iteration of video games as we know them today.
Yeah. I could definitely see it being true.
I just think it's funny you're talking about the moddable PS5 or whatever, and I'm just thinking back to the PS2 expansion slots, like in the big.
Oh God, yeah.
It's like actually the PS2 I have is one of the small ones that actually has a network port on it.
The nice little thin one where you don't have
Yeah.
to put a huge like
Right.
Ethernet adapter in the back or whatever
Yeah.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. Some sadder Sony knows. I itched my nose. Some sadder Sony news. This breaks my heart, Sean. There will be no Vita 2. This comes from IGN. Sony Interactive Entertainment President Andrew House sees the handheld market as, quote, limited in the age of smartphones and has all but dismissed a successor to the PlayStation Vita to compete with the Switch. Speaking to Bloomberg, House explained that, quote, we have not seen handheld gaming outside of Asia as being a huge market opportunity. The Vita experience was that outside of Japan and Asia, there was not a huge demand, House continued. The lifestyle shift toward the dominance of smartphones as the single key device that is always with you was the determining factor. The upshot is that House says there are no plans to take on Nintendo Switch, which has boomed in its first year by combining handheld and home console play. In fact, House doesn't see Nintendo Switch as a handheld in the sense that Vita was, or as direct competition with Sony. Quote, the Nintendo device, he doesn't even say the Switch. That's a little salty. All these flavors, Andrew House, and you choose to be salty. I love you, Andy. The Nintendo device is a hybrid device that's different. That's a different approach and strategy. The folks at Nintendo have their strategy, and that's great, end quote. Bloomberg reports that House hasn't seen signs of Switch hurting PlayStation sales yet, and that its release may actually have done the opposite. Quote, that draws me to the conclusion that they've really been additive to the business in the last year or so, end quote. And the last quote here, we remain focused around a highly connected gaming experience and also coupled with having a great range of other entertainment experiences so you can reach multiple people on the big screen in the household. So there's no Vita 2. There was all these rumors going around that they were working on something like the Switch that had detachable controllers, and these patents were from 2 or 3 years old before we even knew what the Switch was, and everybody's, oh, isn't going to be. They were never going to make a Vita 2.
Here's what I think.
Okay.
I think in another year or two, they announce it, and it's just called the Vita.
I hate you. I was like, oh, he's going to say something real. Wait, I know what he's going to say.
No, I'm pretty sure. I think you made the prediction at least this year's E3 and maybe last year's too that they were going to announce it.
It was at this. I think I did this year's E3. Last E3, I did the price drop on the Vita.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was quite the long shot. PSP was not very good. Vita was. I've enjoyed the little I've
That's
played.
what I was
going
to ask. What did you think about it?
Like
Yeah.
what I don't
Beautiful
like,
screen, but the buttons are so tiny.
I wanted to. Yes. Shovel Knight does not work on the Vita.
No, I know.
I
thought it
not
would be
like
perfect on that, but it
D-pad.
does not work.
The
yeah.
D-pad is too small or something. Like
Did you try to play Street Fighter Alpha 3 on it or anything?
I did.
I can't.
I can barely. There's
yeah.
something about the D-pad, and I don't know if it's just the size or what. But
I think it's the size.
There's something about it, and I can't put my finger on it.
Because it's
Like,
so small.
That would be a very bad D-pad if you can't put your finger on it. But I don't know. I don't like it. And what I'm also realizing I do not like the stupid. I can't even think of what it's called.
C-stick.
On the 3DS.
That's not the C-stick is the thing
C-stick,
that nobody
but-
uses, and I don't know why it's there. The circle analog thing
I do
on the
not
3DS.
like that.
Because it gets like sweaty and I start sliding off it and stuff.
There
I
are
don't
so
like
many
it.
times where like I try to.
It makes sense. That's the only way they could do it, to have a clamshell. But I don't. I'm not.
like I would try to. I'd have to play it again to remember what was happening, but like I would try to like duck, and I would run forward instead of just duck, and it's just
Yeah.
I do not like that thing.
That's why I would love. It's going to come out on the Switch eventually, I think. But I will say one of the things
Probably.
One of the things that I was telling Nick that I love that this has made me remember how awesome the 3DS is. It's got its own niche now, but like not having to ever pause, just being able to look down and see the map and see your health and see everything. And if you want to switch weapons, you just tap the screen. It's like, okay, as much as I want this in full HD on the Switch, it does make sense to put certain games on the 3DS.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it worked for Ocarina on the 3DS.
I loved it on the 3DS.
That's like the only game that I've played on the 3DS where it's like, well, this works well.
Yeah.
And I think it might be one of like 2 games I've played on the 3DS, but
Yeah.
that's not. The other being Majora's Mask.
I never did go back and get that.
The 3D one.
Yeah.
I just can't. I know it's not the type of Zelda game for me. I just can't. It would stress me out.
Yeah.
And it's just
It's
weird.
weird. It's very weird.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's almost kind of similar. What is it similar to? What was it? Maybe it was when Minish Cap. Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Where, like, that's the one that you said there's only like 4 levels or something, right?
It ends up being 5, but yeah.
It's because that's how there's only 4 levels and
Right.
maybe a 5th one at the end. I don't remember. Like, but it's longer than Ocarina. That had like 8 or 9 or 10 levels, however many.
Well,
8, I guess.
That's the same thing with Minish Cap.
But they're just so far. Like,
Yes.
it's kind of like Twilight Princess, where there's a lot of stuff to do in between, and like, and you're like, okay, I'm finally at the level.
That's what I will say about Minish Cap compared to like Link to the Past. Minish Cap, I got to it was kind of getting when I was getting towards the end. It's like how I was when I played Axiom Verge. Like, I'm just ready to beat this now. I don't need to do any of these side quests. I know I'm powerful enough. I can just beat it. And then the ROM crapped out. But same thing with Axiom Verge. I was like, I don't want to go back and get anything. I want to beat this. Metroid, I was like, if there was a platinum trophy, I would 100% the hell out of this game.
I may try to 100% it anyway.
Yeah.
Just because that's always fun in Metroid, because you see the map. And if you've
Well,
uncovered it,
especially
you see
now,
where the things are hidden.
You
to where
just
it's
hit
like,
A on the with your ability. Did you think that makes it too easy? I don't think it's baby mode. I think it makes Metroid
it's
less
a trade-off
frustrating.
because you have that instead of having the map stations that you find
Sorry,
to
everybody,
unlock
that was
the
loud.
map. So it's just kind of a trade-off.
Well, but also I hated the thing. It's a lot easier to use than in Super Metroid, where you get the spotlight. That's what I was trying to do when I hit the microphone. You go,
oh yeah, yeah, because you have to do that in like every screen.
I'm like, okay, now jump up a
Just
little
one,
bit. Is there
yeah,
anything up here? Nope.
exactly,
Jump up
yeah.
some more. No, that got frustrating. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, the Vita is dead. One more quick note here. We'll run through the Games of Gold and PS Plus games, which I am so excited, and then we will do everybody's favorite part of the podcast. Assassin's Creed Origins, speaking of which, Jason, has something called a discovery mode. This makes me want to play this game.
this makes me not want to play that game. Here's a good idea. You know, the guy at Ubisoft. Here's a good idea. Let's turn Assassin's Creed into a climbing and walking simulator.
So
I don't have to fight anything. I don't have any
Right.
story. I just get to go climb the pyramids.
The only thing it reminds me of, like when I talk about VR, like I don't ever want to play Resident Evil in VR. I can't. I'll just die. I can't do it. But VR, the things that fascinate me about VR is like if I want to go to Israel or to the Middle East or somewhere where there's no way in hell I'm going anytime soon. You go and you're there, man. You walk around and everything. This is like they're talking about they're going to use it. Like college professors are so excited to teach about ancient Egypt and all this other stuff. I think it's really cool. They're not releasing it until like January, so 3 months after the game releases, because they don't want you. I'm sure most of the map will be locked to start. Then you'll go up to your tower, and somehow there'll be a tower that unlocks the map, and you'll do all that. So they don't want anything to be spoiled, but it's very interesting. Very interesting.
If it wasn't like, to me, just the Assassin's Creed games, there's so much climbing in it. There's so much, like, that's one of the reasons why Zelda was just kind of like, well, I'm doing this again.
Yeah.
To me, I can understand how they could do it. I can understand why they would do it. I just don't particularly care for it because the storylines in the Assassin's Creed games are so good
Right.
that it's like, I don't know. I just not interest to me at all. Like, I'm probably not going to play the game until 6 months after it comes out because that's what usually happens with me in Assassin's Creed games. But I can see them delaying it to not spoil something in the game.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't like it.
You care at all about Assassin's Creed because of this?
I don't care about it because of it.
I mean, does it make you care more or less than you already don't care?
I still don't. Well, it's not that I don't care about Assassin's Creed. I think I would enjoy it. I just don't know when I'll ever.
This comes out the same day as Mario Odyssey.
No, I know, but I just
Good
feel
luck
like,
with that, Ubisoft.
Yeah, I just don't know.
I mean, I'm buying both of them, so
Yeah.
well, or getting them for Christmas rather.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. I think I would enjoy the game. This seems it's neither here nor there for me because I don't know. So what you basically just get to explore the map.
You just walk around the map, yeah, and you can visit. I'm sure there's like no clip mode or something where you can just pop up and like, well, I'm gonna go over here. I don't think you have to actually just walk around. I'm sure, or you turn into an into an eagle and you fly around, then you turn back.
I mean,
into
the
a person
closest
or
thing I
something.
can think of to that would be if they had something like that in Grand Theft Auto 5.
Right.
I wouldn't do that.
Right.
I want
Right.
to be able to go around and kill people
Yeah.
and like steal cars and plant. Like, I wouldn't want to just explore the map. I would want to explore the map while doing other stuff. So I don't know.
I think the closest I can compare this to is the level editor mode in Halos, and
Okay.
and a lot of the where it's like I'm just running around. I think it was called Forge mode in Halo 3, where literally you could just be one of the flying things and just walk around the maps and see where everything is, and okay, I'm done. You know,
Right, yeah.
like that's kind of how this sounds to me.
Yeah.
And it's like I didn't care for Halo, and I don't particularly care for. Admittedly, this wouldn't be like a level editing mode, but this is
Right.
something I doesn't.
It's still
appease me
kind
at
of like a
all.
debug mode, though. Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
All right. Games with Gold and PS Plus got announced this week. There is a very, 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 very clear winner this time. X-Bone gets Gone Home and the Turing Test. Don't care about that either.
I don't even know what that game is.
The 360, both these games are backwards compatible. They're forward compatible. You know what I mean. It's dumb the way they do it. Rayman 3 in HD and Medal of Honor Airborne. I think this might have been one of the last Medal of Honor games they made. Rayman,
Yes, it
they've
would've
made
been.
like 1 billion of these games. I've just never
Something like
cared
that.
about them.
It's what a platformer.
Yeah. PS Plus, though.
Save that one for last.
So there's only one game on the PS4, and it's Amnesia Collection. On the PS3, now this is what's funny. Remember last month how I said this got all jacked up? They sent out the wrong games, and then they corrected it? I was right. They're just calling it PS Plus. PS3 gets Hustle Kings, which is a pool game, which actually looks kind of cool. And Monster Jam Battlegrounds, it's like a monster truck racing kind of a game, like Trials Fusion kind of a thing. The Vita gets Hue and Skyforce Anniversary. Both those are PlayStation 4 backwards compatible. You're going to want to get those. Not backwards compatible, but cross-buy is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
That Skyforce Anniversary, that's one I was talking about last month that I was so mad we didn't get. It's like a top-down shooter. Like you were talking about, oh, God, what the hell was the name of the game?
Tiger Heli?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a vertical scrolling shooter with PS4 level of graphics and just explosion. It looks so much fun.
You said that was what, Skyforce Anniversary?
Yes. Oh, now actually, there's another game on PS4, and PlayStation wins the month and the year because Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain is free. Are you kidding me, Sean and Jason?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you now.
It doesn't help me because I already got the game, but
I might actually buy PS Plus
PS
to
Plus.
get that game.
it's
I was going to say, besides Jason, there's probably not too many people
2 years later. Yeah.
that are that excited about it because if you're that excited about it, it's because you already own it and you like you.
Right.
Like, I can't imagine there's too many people that have not yet played this game who are just like, oh, Metal Gear Solid. Oh, okay. I guess I'll
Game of the
try.
year,
Like,
I guess
yeah.
I'll play it now.
I mean,
I don't know.
If you
I
care
think
about
it's
Metal Gear, you've
crazy
already
that they
played it.
have it. That's
yeah, I mean, I
by
think
far, I think the biggest game they've ever
I would think
put
so.
on there. But it just seems strange to me. But I mean, that's cool. I hope it's a sign of things to come, and they keep doing things like
well,
that.
and
But
last
2
month
years
was
later.
Infamous.
that's
yeah,
true.
that's true.
Yeah.
So the 2 months in a row, they put out a big AAA game again about 2 years later for Infamous. Also,
Oh, and Battlefield 3 one of the Battlefields was on Games with Gold last month.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
Games with Gold is
but
until this month.
I
is
mean,
consistently better than
Yeah.
PS
if it's
Plus.
if it's 2 years behind the cycle, you're going to catch people that are just, I forgot about that game. Let me grab that.
Yeah.
Or people like me who has like been toying with the idea of buying it just to play it to see what it's all about. But I mean, I don't know.
It's there's nothing more that I need to say about it. If y'all been listening, you know I'm as big a Metal Gear fan as there is.
I mean, think it's the one game you guys did a whole podcast about.
Yep. The very first podcast, we were nervous as hell, and we sounded really bad at the beginning. So I was like, I can't get this script right. I don't know what to say. Once we started talking, it was fine. But at the beginning, it was, so we're going to drink some drinks. And
yeah, I think that's the one podcast I didn't listen to.
You need to go listen. Just listen to the first 5
listen to the
minutes.
first, yes. It's bad.
That's so bad.
One other quick thing here, and then we'll get into everybody's favorite part. I'm not even jet lagged, and I'm tired. Mario was going to punch Yoshi in the back of the head.
What?
So when they originally designed Yoshi for Mario World, Mario was punching this poor dinosaur in the back of the head to make him go. And then they're like, well, this is... They finally had some review or something. They're like, this is horribly violent. Please stop punching that dinosaur in the back of the head. So they changed it from to...
Well, if you actually look at it, it looks like he's going to like hammer fist him in the back of the head. If you look at it close enough.
Oh, I love you, bud. Boy. So yeah, that came out this week. That originally he was going to be punching that poor dinosaur in the back.
See,
of
I
the
never.
head.
I kept seeing that, but I never actually read any of it. I thought it was saying that that's what he was doing. That he
I thought it
wasn't
was
just
too,
doing
and I was
that.
like,
he was actually
what?
like punching it. And I'm like, well, says who? Like,
Right. I mean, back in the day, everything was so blurry on CRT screens you couldn't really
Right,
tell anyways.
yeah.
But now,
It was
if
like
you look,
he's-
you can tell he's. It's not like he's even saying anything. So how is he? Like, does he? I don't. It's a. What am I
You're
talking
overthinking
about?
it.
Yeah. So I just want to throw that in there. That's it for this week. Except it's that time of the week, Sean. You remember how to do this?
yes, I got it.
It's that time of the week when we played the It's the Back of the Box Challenge. If you didn't know, the Back of the Box Challenge, how we end the podcast here every week on the Two Player Co-op Podcast. What this game is, we take a look at a previously released retail version of a game, flip that joker around backwards, we look at the back of the box, we read the back of the box aloud to the other player, bleep out any pertinent information that would give the game away or make it way too obvious. Then the other player gets asked some follow-up questions that end in a yes or a no to try to figure out what the box is as...
What the game is.
What the game is inside the box. Onside.
Onside.
Not drunk or anything. Oh, I'm just tired. That's Back Box Challenge. That's what we're going to do now.
Oh God.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Should we just do one game? Or you want to do both? Let's do a game.
Oh, I mean, I've got one ready to go. I can do it.
Okay. Oh, crap. Where's mine? Hold on. There it is. I think we've done this before, so this might be really quick. And Jayson, I know you can help him out here, but you probably won't need to. Surrender is not an option.
Resistance.
That's the back of the box. I almost said the name. Okay. Dark experiments have permanently altered time. Or have they? Now, blank tanks crush city after city, while blanked cruisers shell bases. Spies lurk...
Did you say blanked cruisers? Or blanks?
Blank... It ends in a ED. So
Okay.
I blanked cruisers.
Blanked.
Spies lurk, landmines wait, and strange new technologies aid both sides in their struggle for ultimate control. Blank, name the game, gives you the opportunity to be more devious, cunning, and ruthless than ever before. Easy to plan and highly addictive. Blank puts the fate of the world in your hands.
Is this a PC game?
Yep, you already got it.
Is it Red Alert?
Oh my God! Really?
It just kind of like clicked. I'm like, oh, this might be Red Alert. And then I kept everything else you said. I'm like, okay, that could be Red Alert. Okay, yep, that could be Red Alert.
I bleeped out Soviet and Allied and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Great
God,
game.
I love that game.
Yep, I had a feeling that was okay.
Yep.
Well, that was quick. I said it was going to be the quickest back of whatever I said earlier when I was losing
Everybody's
my words.
quickest game.
Everybody's quick as back of the box.
All right, I think mine's kind of easy too.
Yo,
I feel like I say that every week.
you
but-
do, and
All
then
right.
I'm like, dude, never heard of this game.
At least for the last couple of weeks, he's definitely said that.
Yep, he sets me up for failure. I've got super glue on my hands, and I hate that. I'm like, I don't
they're
know
like-
when it's going to go away.
Yeah.
All right. Double action when blank
Revolver.
Double mint gum.
face their duplicates. Blank engage in a battle so world-threatening, even blank switches sides.
Is this a side-scrolling beat 'em up?
Not a beat 'em up.
Side-scrolling. Okay. I thought Double Dragon, that happened in Double Dragon sometime, where copies were made or something.
Bimmy and Jimmy.
Bimmy and Jimmy.
Blank races to the edge of oblivion at the hands of an evil technobio blank technobio blank organism.
Mutant.
The blank.
The blob.
B.
All that you can be.
Blank, 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 blank.
Oh, how many was that?
6.
Were those people or characters?
Yeah. And for the first time ever, play as blank.
So this is part of a series.
Blank are at their fiercest, and then it just, I'll just stop there.
What the heck do you have 6 or 7 selectable characters? Or can you play as all these 7 characters, I guess?
Yeah.
There's only 4 Ninja Turtles.
Unless you want to play as unless there's a game where you're playing as April or was it Casey Jones?
Oh, actually, that's a good call.
I don't know if there's any games that are like that.
No, but I think there might have been. Is this a Ninja Turtles game?
No.
Oh, dang. What was that?
You're thinking of Tournament Fighters.
Oh.
Where you can play as April.
Maybe
and
that's
Casey.
it. But in that weird Manhattan Missions game on DOS, was that
I
only
think
the
you just
Turtles?
plays the Turtles.
Okay. All right. Is this a 16-bit game?
Yes.
Is this the first in a series?
No.
No, it can't be because they said, now you can finally play as blank. Is it licensed?
Yes.
7 different characters. Is it based on a cartoon?
No, I would say no.
You would say no?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it based on a comic book?
Yes.
Oh, right. You play as mutants.
You do.
Is this a Genesis exclusive?
It is.
Is it it's X-Men: The Clone Wars. It's the second in the series.
That is
correct.
I don't think I ever played that
Clone
game.
Wars.
Oh, the Clone Wars. Duh, they've been cloned.
Right.
Dumbass Kevin. Gosh.
I said, this is going to be pretty easy.
I wasn't even thinking about that. That was really good. It's not as good as X-Men the arcade game. I don't know.
Is there an X-Men game that's as good as X-Men the arcade game?
That game does not hold up.
Which one? The arcade game? I know.
We were playing it at the Rec Room last time.
It just... Yeah, that's right.
None of the beat-ups really hold up.
Yeah, that's
even
true.
Turtles in Time doesn't.
Yeah,
hold up
Simpsons, Turtles,
Simpsons is
X-Men.
bad.
They're just so repetitive. It's just enemy, punch, 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 punch. Enemy, punch, punch, punch. Punch, 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 punch. And it's just, oh god. Yeah, X-Men: The Clone Wars.
But now, do you remember the Super Nintendo one, the beat 'em up? If it was only one player, Capcom made it.
Yeah, and you play. I think every level you play
You were a
as
different mutant.
X-Men.
Yeah,
But you don't choose it. It's just this level you're so and so. This level you're so and so.
that's what I should.
I think
should
Brent
go-
owned that game. Although I
Yeah.
seem to think Brent owned a lot of games that he says he didn't. But I'm pretty sure he owned.
Well,
that.
we all know Brent's memory too.
Well,
Sometimes.
yeah, I'll take my word over his.
Those are. I don't know if I put them on my system. X-Men and X-Men 2. I'm sure I did, but
You
I need to go
must have.
back. I remember we bought X-Men thinking it was the arcade game. They were like, "Oh,
This is
that
different.
talk about a pre." There's no way that could happen today. You kids these days, you
Right,
are so
man.
spoiled. You could never buy a game and not know what game it is. We bought a game called X-Men and thought it was going to be the X-Men arcade beat 'em up.
It was
Not
not
even
at all.
You're
close.
talking about the Genesis X-Men game.
Yep,
The first one, yeah.
I think I still have that actually.
it was really good. They were both really good.
It's just not the
yeah.
beat. It's just
Right.
not the arcade game. So you're like, oh,
I loved X-Men 2 because it starts off you're just playing.
You just turn it on, you're like
It just
Psylocke
goes
and the
Sega,
winter.
and you're just like, oh.
yeah,
oh, that game.
that one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I have played that. Now you said that.
Yeah, that's a good game. I like it.
Did we ever-
We actually have it.
Yeah. Did we ever beat either of them? Either X-Men
We
game?
didn't beat the first. I don't think we beat either. of
That
them.
Yeah.
first one was it was pretty easy up until a certain point, and then it just got impossible.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like every time we played, we got to maybe like the third level or so, and then we never got past that. And I don't even remember what level it was, but
Yeah.
yeah, that game was tough.
Thank God for save states now. Maybe now I can beat it.
These soft kids, that's all they know.
Yeah. That's so weird we bought a game and didn't know what it was. Oh, well. Hey, thanks, everybody. This has been episode 94 of the Two Player Co-op podcast. Dang it. I said podcast. Podcast. Oh, thank you all for being here. Thank you, Jayson, for being here.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. You might even see him next week. You never know. The miracle of recording. You can find us, obviously. Hopefully you're watching us at youtube.com/2playercoop. If you are and you have not done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button there. I keep forgetting to do this at the beginning. Hit the like button over there if you like what you see. Thank you so much. We're also part of the Nerd 901 family, so go to nerd901.com for all things nerdy in Memphis and around the globe. Check out everything that's going on there. They're doing great things. You're going to love it. It's great. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at KevinWhite24. He's at Real Sean White. Together we're at 2player_co-op. Jayson doesn't tweet, but he has a Tweeter account.
Tweeter account.
I saw something, like I followed these office things on Instagram, and one of them was when Dwight's like, I should have a Tweeter account. Because he said, like, I wonder if, because we have king-size bed. He's like, I wonder if the big beds in England are called presidential instead of, king-size. He's like, I should have a Tweeter account.
I vaguely remember that.
If you like audio, and I know Sean does, make sure you check us out on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and audio services all around the globe. And we have a Facebook page that we never update, but Nerd 901 does it for us. They tag us and everything there. So go to facebook.com/2playercoop gaming. Sean, is this the one where you get it?
I think so.
All right. Until next week. Actually, wait, not next week. Come back Friday, hear all about Oktoberfest. And then after that, come back next week for a special fun edition of episode 95 of the Two Player Co-op podcast. It's going to be a little different, but it's going to be fun. Come on back for that. But until that time, Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing.
Oh my God, that's almost in your eye.
It hit my head, and then it still almost landed in my. That hit my hand. That was simultaneously the worst and the closest I've come to actually getting it.
I saw it go, and I was like,
Yeah, I'm like,
no.
I'm like looking at it. I think I didn't throw it high enough, and I was like,
I got to go quick.
I think you just overthrew it backwards.
You'll shoot your eye out.
I still almost caught it. Hit the palm of my hand.
That was awesome.
One of these days.
Bang, zoom right to the moon. Bye, guys.